And joining us for our very special wedding buffet inspired by London is one of the classical world's biggest selling boy bands. We've got Blake, we've got Welcome, Stephen Bowman, Jules Knight, Humph Burney and Ollie Baines. Hello, welcome to you all. Two of you are actually mates with the Princes, aren't you? Jules, you went to university, St Andrews.
Yeah, I went to St Andrews with Will and Kate.
With Will and Kate. And Ollie, there are pictures of you at a gymkhana with Prince Harry.
How sweet. Where did you find those?
Yeah, in fact, looking little cherubic little boys. Well, I know you're also going to be singing us out tonight with a special song.
We are.
We look forward to that. Let's introduce the other guest. Next, a woman famed for taking the beard out of beer. It's Pint Authority Melissa Cole. We've got London food fanatic Cheryl Cohen, who's been running farmers markets in the capital for 11 years. Creator of food blog Feast on Scraps, Laura Silver. Chefs Tim Clements and Paul Pimniero from Roast Hog, who are overseeing the cooking of the Big Pig. And a crowd of wedding guests, engaged couples, even a vicar. And they're all eager for a taste of London. Welcome to everyone. Now, because it seems to me that all Richard's doing is stacking up a cheese, I'm going to stay here and look at what you're doing.
Right. OK, so my ingredients were interesting because I had to get something from everywhere, obviously. So, disparate is probably the word. So I've got my lovely steak, which I'm going to serve blue. I'm going to make, using the grains of paradise and a little bit of cinnamon, a couple of spices that we got from the old recipe at Hampton Court.
When we talk about grains of paradise, can
Exactly.
we recommend all these?
The coconut borrowed from the cinnamon club is the coconut milk, and I'm going to basically make a bit of a sort of a spicy.
I thought you were going to say a bit of a mess.
Well, we'll see. See what you think.
No, it'll be delicious.
Yeah, and then
ingredients.
wash down with the lovely, or the rather fiery booze from Bar Choux. Right. So here, ginger, galangal, garlic. Okay, got my
Sorry,
grains.
what did you say the middle bit was?
What's that? Galangal. You want to try it? It's this.
Yeah.
Where is it? It's here.
Yeah.
It's kind of quite fragrant.
Oh, that's
ginger-like.
It's quite nice, isn't it?
Right, I've got grains of paradise.
When you were camping, you know that. Oh my goodness, it's quite hot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fire, isn't it?
Oh, nice.
Right, that's perhaps quite hot.
That's that sort of joke that people play with. I think that's what we do, actually.
Fish. It's not that bad. Right, so lime juice, fish sauce,
Not yet.
the ginger, the garlic, the grains of paradise, and the cinnamon.
Right.
There. Chilies are going in now. Okay. What else? And I've got some coconut milk. So that's the coconut borrowed from the cinnamon club. Okay. Make a little paste out of that. In with the milk. Okay. So, so let's make sauce out of that. Let's try that in just a bit. Let that stew. So this is going to be a blue steak. So if you're going to cook a blue steak, it's important that you get it out at room temperature. Otherwise it's going to be cold in the middle. And because it's blue, the fat's not going to be cooked. So I'm going to remove that now. Ordinarily I'd leave the fat on because it's delicious. Right. Okay. That'll do. That's all I've got the room for. Season that up and grill it off. And that's pretty much it.
Right.
A little bit of oil.
But when on a day of a performance, presumably you can't just eat what you want.
The difficulty is you can't really eat too close to when you sing. Well, actually, Ollie eats a sandwich about 5 minutes before we go on. But I mean, theoretically, because then you sort of it repeats on you in the first song or whatever. So you're trying to
So
sing
is it just
a song.
for other people that it's not very nice as well? For the rest of you?
We're respectful to the front row. They don't want to see what we've eaten.
No, it does make singing much harder. So you end up finishing late and then you are going to eat late. That's why your hours are so different. You know, you finish a show at 11 and you get food and drinks and don't get to bed till 3.
So you turn into party animals, really?
Yeah, we try. We wake up very late, we perform very late, we party till late, and that's the celebration.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so meat's gone on. Literally, give it 30 seconds or so that side. Turn it over. I'll whip that off, put that on a plate, let that rest, put the other one on. Otherwise it starts getting a bit crowded and the temperature drops.
Right.
Right, let's get some coriander.
Do you like your meat blue?
I've got a question for Chef. Once you let the meat rest, how long does it keep you have to leave it to rest for a while, don't you? Does the meat keep cooking? Or?
Ideally, yeah. I mean, this won't because it hasn't got the temperature, hasn't got hot enough. But ideally, a good steak you need to rest for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that.
Right, okay. Moving over here. So you stack up the cheese and that's it?
Penny, yes. Fondue.
Right, okay.
3 cheeses, yeah?
Right.
All from West Cork. Thurs, Goubine and Coulet. There's a really good tip, by the way.
I just noticed that.
Yeah,
garlic
piece
clove.
of garlic. Never put the whole garlic into a cheese
Why?
fondue. It's just too strong. It overpowers beautiful flavoured cheeses.
Right.
So just get it and rub it on
fondue, is it? That's a small pan.
some white wine, just straight in.
Right.
And then you can put in your cheeses.
Now you're going to serve this alongside your wedding cake.
Yeah.
Of cheeses.
And I'm going to serve some pressed figs and some quince on the side as well.
Now, Melissa, I understand that you had an interesting wedding cake as well.
Yes, well, alongside traditional ones to, you know, keep all the mums happy and everything like that, we actually had my wedding present from Mrs. King's was a 5 stacked high various pork pies. So it's a massive Melton Mowbray on the bottom, then pork and Stilton, then another Melton Mowbray, then game pie, and then topped with another.
Topped with a pickled egg. my kind of wedding cake.
I put it just back on the heat there again, and that's it. It's
okay.
be there just
Did
in
you
a
have
couple
an
more
unusual
minutes.
wedding cake, by the way?
No, I had a pretty straightforward, really good homemade wedding cake, and it was delicious. But you know what? I would rather a stack of great cheeses, unpasteurised, all different cheeses for a wedding.
I think it'd be great. It would be lovely.
I think it's a lovely way, and it's very, very popular.
Nice. Lovely. Join us after the break when Matt and Richard reveal their mouth-watering wedding feast. We've got Matt with his old, new, borrowed and blue ingredients turned into the perfect buffet dish, and Richard is going to be giving his cheese wedding cake a wow factor finish, aren't you?
Yeah, well, hopefully.
Are serving up a spectacular royal wedding banquet fit for a king. Matt, you are cooking a blue steak.
Yeah.
And then the old and borrowed and new bit.
Yeah, okay, so blue steak.
Yeah.
The old recipe from Hampton Court. I've got a borrowed coconut, which is it's quite symbolic in Indian weddings. They put it on the table. It's good luck.
And new what?
And my new booze from Bar Shoe.
Yeah, you wouldn't want borrowed booze, would you?
Unfortunately, I only brought one shot back for me. So, so that's it. So it's a combination of all that.
Right, as a sauce, kind of for your blue steak.
So I've cooked my blue steak, letting that rest now. In here I've got my my old spices, grains of paradise, some cinnamon. I've got some coconut milk, which I've borrowed from the coconut. You with this?
Got it.
I've got some coriander, some chilli, some Thai fish sauce, so it's make kind of like an Asian curry, basically.
Good. Right, meanwhile, we've got a cheese stack.
3 Irish cheeses, melting away in a little bit of wine, tiny bit of garlic in there, little tip, tiny bit of cayenne pepper, and always touch of nutmeg on the top. Penny, have a smell of that now. Because you're a bit of a fondue fan.
I love it.
You like to stick your green vegetables in some melted cheese.
I do.
Good. I better get cracking, yeah?
Yeah. Is that it? Right.
That sounded like some horrifying.
Okay. It did, didn't it? It sounded a bit unpleasant. Right. Take us through these cheeses then.
Okay. We have a wonderful cheddar down the end. We have, which
Are
is...
they called a wheel? Is that called a wheel?
Yeah, that is a
cheese?
wheel. Yeah,
Okay.
that is a wheel. What we have then is a yarg, Cornish yarg.
Yep.
Welsh, which Matt would understand this one, unpasteurised Carfilly, which this is a really, really regal, regal cheese. And then we have the Basset, Colston Basset, which is possibly one of the greatest cheeses in the world. And what we have then is a Wigmore, a Waterloo, and you know what? The only foreign influence on this cheese stack is this little Nutrekel. It's a French heart-shaped cheese, yeah?
It's
so let's put a bit of
heart.
the French like that bit of romance. Let's put it on there, yeah? Okay.
So
And are
delicate.
you going to put the little wedding couple on the top?
Oh. There you go. And then we just garnish our cake with some just figs.
Oh, very pretty.
They look almost heart-shaped, actually. Some of those figs, don't they?
Well, figs have
Lovely.
been long associated with passion.
Yeah. What's that just you're putting on there?
That is the quince, which is medieval in itself, you know what I mean? It's been around. The Spanish have never let it leave their culinary repertoire. It left the British culinary repertoire, but this was widely used, almost like a medieval type jam. You'd have a sweet one, you'd have a savoury one, you would have a spiced one as well. And when you think of quince, I always think of cheddars and hard cheeses. And then when you have some dates, And when you think of dates?
Well, they started off having dates, I presume, Prince William and his bride-to-be.
So there you go.
Thank you, Melissa.
I'm
Thank you.
I'm chuckling for
Thanks. Richard's just pressing on.
Yeah.
Oh, you've just been slicing up
Right,
the
my sauce is
bloomy.
nearly done. I've got my little garnish, and let's just put it together.
Right.
So here's my sauce.
It's got a nice viscosity, that's.
Thank you.
Thanks, hon. I know, he is the chef amongst you, let's face it. We know this from a previous experience. Now, Matt, so is this the traditional recipe? Have you stuck to the traditional recipe, the old recipe that you got from Hampton Court?
No, we've
Right.
sort of inspired by it.
Okay. What was the original part then?
Well, just the grains of paradise and the cinnamon, basically. And it had
Right.
beef in it as well, so...
Yeah.
You know.
Do stop doing your chefy stuff and get
Sorry.
on with it. We're all
Sorry,
salivating
right,
here
okay,
and starting to
there you go.
dribble.
Old new, borrowed blue.
Wow.
That's my my spiced beef.
And this is the layered British cheesecake with a very happy couple.
Tell me what you thought of Richard's fondue. Richard's very simple.
Yeah,
Delicious.
Really good.
Really good.
Really good.
Just saying, it's a mix of how many cheeses in there?
Three.
Three
Three
cheeses.
cheeses.
Three.
It
That was absolutely lovely.
delicious, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right, and what about those cheeses themselves as well? I know you didn't make them, but they are delicious. That yarg and the kefili.
I was going to say the yarg for me is the one that's just absolutely
The
delicious.
yarg, is that one there?
Tried this one.
Go for the
That-
yarg.
that
That's the one.
Yeah. What about Matt's dish?
Again, delicious.
good.
We're just very happy boys,
Very good.
basically.
You are,
I
right?
like
Yeah.
the spiciness of it.
raw meat, which we all quite like.
Right, I'm moving over here now.
I love the cayenne in the
I like that.
fondue.
Yeah, and the nut,
Really
you taste the
nice.
nutmeg
Yes,
as well.
yeah.
Now, Cheryl, dig into the steak.
So, usual for me.
I love beef with Asian flavours and spices like that because it's such a strong meat.
Could I really
very
taste it?
good.
Could you
It
say?
balances it nicely, doesn't it? I really like that.
And Cheryl?
That's really good meat.
Delicious.
It's delicious, it is.
And how does that recipe work, Melissa?
Fantastic. Really like that. Really enjoyed that. Again, I love the sort of the Asian flavours with the beef. I think it's brilliant. But I'm afraid that I am a complete sucker for if you bring me melted cheese. And, you know, I like the fact it's cheese with a side of cheese.
So I think we're all quite happy with that, aren't we? Yes, that's a thumbs up.
Remember, you can follow Market Kitchen Big Adventure on Twitter and Facebook for updates, recipes and all things good food.
Coming up, 2 more spectacular dishes are added to our wedding banquet. What are you making?
I'm going to do some sides to go with our big pig over here. Do apple and celeriac dauphinoise and some sauerkraut.
What?
A fruity couscous salad to go with the pig and some grilled cheese.
Lovely. See you in a minute.